Mat.EU has new pre-painted terrain sets.
Spiky bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we're going to take a look. We're going to go to the back room, the back studio room, and take a look at the latest terrain set from Mat.EU. They sent this new Fallout Zone terrain set over to us, and a new mat too, which looks pretty dope. I mean, I love all their mats, and to be honest, they've been crushing this for like 4 or 5 years. I can't even remember a time I wasn't talking about Mat.EU, but you know, quality wise, I always roll in the stores, and if I see a game mat on the table at a game store, I know it's going to be in good quality. And if I look around at some other mats that are out there, they're always a little tattery, a little in shambles around the edges. And I just think it's, you know, it just goes to show you quality materials, quality development definitely goes a long way when you're trying to get something that's going to last 4 or 5, 6, 7 years, you know. And I've had their mats for just as long, and while I don't play with them as much or the terrain, they all pretty much look like they did on the first day. So I'm loving their stuff. Let's jump over to their site so I can show you where to scoop up all this stuff, and then we'll run to the back and show you what these items actually look like on the tabletop, and you know, how much terrain, how much space they cover, and how dope the new mat really is. So here it is, Mat.EU. Whoops, just slid back there. They've got all sorts of great products in their little slider here, but we're going to start with the Fallout Zone pre-painted terrain set. It doesn't scale to the window here, unfortunately, because it's got one of those super scalable sites, so sometimes it's hard to record it, but you kind of get the idea here. It's a 13-piece set. It's pre-painted. It looks great. You can kind of see everything in this picture here. You've got the little sandbag barricades. You've got some identical smaller ruins, a larger ruin, and then this kind of like, I don't know, derelict fountain sort of waste container thing that will probably be a nice big line of sight blocking piece of terrain for the middle of your boards. And anything you see here in the slider, you can just click on and it'll go right into explaining more about the set. Now I have this set to US dollars, but you can change your region right up here. It's very easy to do in between them. And to be quite honest, I don't think they're really making money off of exchange rates or anything, because it's 135 euros, and euros worth more than $1. So do the math there. They're not really trying to get anything over on anybody, any arbitrage or anything like that. Of course, the EU probably isn't doing a Brexit, because that's not a thing. But regardless, 13-piece set here. You can kind of check out, you know, all the pieces and everything on their site, and then it gives you a breakdown of all that. It's highly detailed, pre-painted, great stuff. We've been showing you this stuff for years and years and years and years. But the thing I want to get this out of the box, and I'm going to show it to you in the box to show you how it comes shipped, because obviously this is coming from overseas, so there's a concern like, hey, you know, is this going to get damaged? I've never had a piece get damaged. I've actually damaged a piece trying to open the box. It was so securely packed once, and that was a long time ago. But so just be aware that that's not even going to be a thing. Now, when it comes to battle mats, they have a ton more battle mats than pre-painted terrain, which is really cool to see, because, you know, if you already have terrain and you're like, you know what, I just need a tabletop. Well, hey, they got you covered. Whether it's, you know, the smaller boards for Kill Team, stuff for Star Wars Legion, stuff for X-Wing, whatever the size mat, they're probably going to have, or tabletop surface, they're probably going to have a mat for you. Now, newer stuff, and there's a little bit of discount too if you buy two. I'm going kind of long here, hard to paint, because we haven't done a video on Mat.EU in a while, because they haven't had a product, newer product in, I don't know, I want to say like a year-ish. So if you're new to the channel, you might not realize how dope this stuff really is here, because I've tried to, you know, texture a game surface with sawdust and latex paint and doing all that stuff for years, and it is a pain in the butt. So just having a dope mat that's like matches your theme, just roll it out. You can roll it back up. It comes with a little baggie. I'll show you that too. It's just really cool. And the fact that it's just easy to store if you're folding up your table or whatever, or, you know, you just want to switch out to a new one, they're very easy to store and get out of the way as well. So here's their 6x4 battle mat selection. They're $70 US. The shipping on them is, I think, roughly $30. If you buy a terrain set, added to that, it's only like 20 bucks. I think the terrain set shipping is around $30. So if you get a mat and a pre-painted set of terrain, it's about $55, I believe. But I mean, coming from Eastern Europe, I've sent stuff to California and it cost me more than $55. And I know this stuff weighs a lot. So I feel like that's a pretty good rate. So I'm not even going to be mad about that. Let's be real. 6x4 battle mats right here. So here's the newest one, Lost World. We're going to show you that one today. You know, they just give you some technical readouts and stuff like this. It's 2mm thick, durable rubber base. It's basically a mouse pad. I literally have one right here with my cat on it. Hey, look, well, not my cat, but a cat. So it's pretty much the same. Actually, I think this is a little thinner, but regardless, you know, that's the basic material. I have sprayed this stuff with Resolve. I have thrown the stuff in a wash. Well, I've thrown this little mouse pad in a wash. I've never thrown one of these mats in a wash, and it came out just fine. So if you do manage to spill something on, it is a little water resistant. It's matte, you know, it's going to deflect glare. It's great stuff. I'll show it to you underneath a bunch of lights, and you'll be able to see. So there's some shipping weights and some different things right here. Anti-slip, waterproof, no light reflections, softens dive sounds. I mean, it's great stuff. 6x4 and mousepad material. So that's their latest design. And if you don't already know this too, there's double-sided mats. So you save a little bit of cheddar if you go with the double-sided mat route. You can get some of the more popular prints, which I definitely recommend this one right here, double-sided GMAT, Quarantine Zone, and looks like Fallout Zone. Yeah, Quarantine and Fallout, which would go well with this set of terrain we're about to show you, and I'll actually set that up on this mat right here. $99. So you save about 40 bucks because it's a double-sided mat. And it is going to be a little thicker than the 2mm, but it's not like obnoxiously thick or anything like that. So actually it says it's 2mm. I wonder how they did that. It feels like it's thicker to me sometimes. But either way, let's jump to the studio itself, show you all this stuff on a 6x4 tabletop, and compare it with some other terrain sets that are out there that you can augment it with, and also show you some of the miniatures and how big they scale up to these actual sets themselves. So here's just a quick look at what you'll actually receive when you get a mat from Mat.EU. It's going to come in a nice little canvas, a zipper bag right here with a really sturdy kind of handle. It's stitched into it, and it's kind of hard to fit it in frame because it is a 4-foot wide mat by 6 feet, you know, long. But this just definitely gives you an idea of what to expect in a nice sturdy box if you just get a mat from them. So here it is, all furled out or rolled out, depending on how you want to call it. And I think this is a great mat. I had to adjust the settings a little bit on the color because it wasn't coming through just right with all these blue lights in here, unfortunately. But this is exactly how it looks to my eyes, as well as the camera, hopefully. And I think it's a great mat. I mean, it looks great. It would work great for Sigmar or 40K or a lot of other fantasy games out there. I feel like you could use it for a lot of GW's games, to be quite honest. And if you look close, you'll see these little elven runes kind of mixed in here and there. So it's got a little bit, I mean, that's why it's the Lost World. So it's got a little bit of that old school flair to it, but the nice geometric shapes and everything really kind of give it a, I don't know, just kind of like a little very heartwarming kind of feel, I guess, as far as, you know, the style and everything goes. And it is that 2mm thick kind of stuff I was talking about there, but it lays flat. It's totally matte. You know, there's not going to be any light bouncing off it. And there, trust me, there's a ton of lights in this room right here. So remember, this is Lost World. It's $69.99, I believe. And remember, you can always save a little bit of money getting double-sided. This isn't available double-sided yet, but hey, in the future. And then we're going to jump to this one here and lay out all that great terrain. Okay, so here's how most of the Mat.EU terrain comes. It's going to come securely packed in a nice big styrofoam chunky packaging here that for the most part, unless you break it as you try to open the box, which I've done in the past. So be careful opening the box. Don't be a stupids like me. And individually kind of plastic wrapped as well, so you don't get all those little Klingons and stuff all over the terrain. But you will get it all over everything else, so you might have to go through with a vacuum after you open your box. Now, as far as the terrain goes, well, the terrain, once you get it all unboxed and everything, it's actually pretty lightweight. It seems pretty durable, but I wouldn't drop it on the floor or anything. I like this big line of sight blocking piece for the middle of the table because it looks like you can actually put models through there. And we'll test that out here in a second. And the back is kind of open, so it gives you that kind of magic pillbox kind of look if that's what you're going for. And then, you know, all the ruins and stuff, they're definitely super lightweight. The bottom's coated and everything, so hopefully you don't, you know, have any issues with scratching things up or anything like that. But as you can see here, it may not give you a full 4x6 table. You may have to kind of pair it up with some of the other terrain that's out there. But I mean, as far as that goes, chances are you already probably have some, or you're just using this to augment, or maybe you're just using it for kill team or something like that, and in which case it's perfect, because this will make a really cool looking table. So let's kind of add in some models and give you an idea of the scale for this stuff right here, and then maybe see what it looks like with some of the other terrain thrown in on this as well. Here you can see kind of how it scales up as far as a Deathgore Kriegsman and a Primaris Space Marine. Over there in the back, we've got a Repressor tank and then the Redemptor Dreadnought right here. So it definitely looks to be the right scale for anything you're going to need. And I splashed in some of the Chem Zone terrain too to give it a little bit of color. And of course, it pops with a Quarantine Zone map and just a little bit more depth to the battlefield right there. So I feel like the size is right. Everything looks good. I mean, a tank isn't going to do much, or those sandbags aren't going to do much for line of sight blocking or anything like that for the tank, but it looks like everything over here is good. And then of course you can always add in, you know, these guys to the little stoop right there, or you know, these guys can kind of fire over the little windows and things. And then when it comes to the sandbags, they seem to be pretty appropriate for like a human sized model right there. And the last thing I wanted to do was compare this set to the Gothic Ruins they put out a few years ago. And, you know, as far as I can tell, they're pretty much, you know, very close on style. I mean, the color is almost exact. I mean, obviously one is a little futuristic kind of type deal, as one is more kind of not so sci-fi, more like feudal, or I don't know what the word is right there, but this one has, you know, metal plates, and this one's more kind of stonework, or I guess you would expect to see this more like RPG or like D&D style, but they are about the same size. Actually, this one seems, maybe it's just the way it was, the thicker floors and stuff, seems a little heavier than this one. But you know, as far as that goes, I think if you already have this existing set, it will go together with what you already have quite well, as far as, you know, style, size, and also, you know, just fitting in with all the mats and everything there. So that's about it. That's pretty much everything I think I could show you as far as the new terrain and a new mat from Mat.EU. Make sure you hit them up at that URL, of course. It hasn't changed in 4 years, and I hope it doesn't change for at least 4 more for sure right there. So that's it for this one. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.